It's me Sriram Sharma, your English teacher. Today I am going to teach you a very important part of English grammar, and it is called voice. That has 1 mark weightage in question number 9 in class C examination. So dear students and fellow teachers, let us learn the very easy techniques of transforming active sentences into the passive sentences in a very clear way. So let me tell you what voice is called. Voice is an important part of English grammar, no doubt. But the question is, the voice is of two types, active and passive voice, and the tense and the structure of the voice is not changed even in the active and passive voices. Only the question is altering the subject and object. If we focus on subject, it becomes active voice. If we focus on object, it becomes passive voice. Very simple technique. So let us see. Active and passive voice. So very simple structure of active voice is that it starts from subject in short form SEV plus verb plus object in short form OBG only. And in passive voice, object OBG plus changed verb plus by plus subject. But the now question is, you see, the object that comes at the end of the sentence is taken at the front. Now, how can we recognize subject and object? The question is. So let us know the easy technique. Subject means the doer of this action. So doer of the action means the person who does the action in transitive verbs. So answer of who is the subject. Object, answer of what and to whom. Look at that. In two cases, what and to whom. What implies the direct object and to whom implies the indirect object. So very important in passive voice is object, dear students and fellow teachers. If students are able to carry the object at the front, then almost 50% job is done. So always remember, always consider object as a very important thing in passive voice. Alright, now the question is, how can we change the verbs? How can we change verbs? Very simple technique, active voice and passive voice. Look at that. V1, V5, that is simple present tense. V1, V5 is changed into is AMR plus V3. Is AMR plus V3. Whenever you see the case of V1, V5, we need to change is AMR plus V3. V3 means past participle. V2 means simple past. Simple past is changed into was, were plus V3. And if the sentence does not have V1, V5, or if the sentence doesn't have V2, then there will be the case of auxiliary verb. Auxiliary verb. Dear student, I can write auxiliary verb in short form AUX only, plus main verb MV. Then we have to change it into same auxiliary plus be, been plus V3. Look at that. Just we have 3 rules of changing verbs. Once again, V1, V5 is AMR plus V3. V2 was, were plus V3. And auxiliary plus and B means main verb. Same auxiliary be, either be, being, been plus V3. So not only active to passive, passive to active as well. So we can give the arrows to both sides. If is AMR V3 comes in passive voice, in active voice you have to change it into V1, V5. If was, were, V3 is given in passive voice, you have to change it into V2 in active voice. So this is a very simple technique. Don't forget, dear students. So now our concern is, let us start with the examples. Very fast. Examples. In statement. Active to passive, okay? Very fast. Active to passive. Very fast. One number. She writes a letter. Dear student, you can see who writes a letter? C. This is a subject. And what writes? What writes? A letter. I told you the answer of what or to whom should be borrowed at the back, at the front. So a letter should be taken to the front. A letter. And look at the verb, main verb, V5. V1, V5 is changed into is AMR plus V3. So a letter is written full stop. And let us write note 1. By is necessary only in case of name of person, name or surname of person, surname of person. For example, if there is Lakshmi Prasad, by Lakshmi Prasad. If there is Devkota, by Devkota. But in other cases, we don't have to write by. Here as well, if you want to write by, no problem. A letter is written by her, not by she. She is changed into her, he is changed into him, they is changed into them, and like that we have to do it. We into us, I into me. Okay, this is the note number 1. Let's go to the, according to the second rule of the grammar of this verb change. She wrote a letter. Dear student, once again, same structure, same type of words. A letter again comes first. Yes, a letter. And now the verb is B2. And in case of B2, was with plus V3. So very simple to understand is a letter is singular subject. So we need to take was, and what is the V3 of wrote? Written. A letter was written. Again by her, not necessary, because there is not a proper noun of the person. So third one is, according to this last one, she is writing a letter. Look at that. She is writing a letter. And the passive form of the she is writing a letter. Take this a letter at first. Look at that, auxiliary plus main verb. You know there are 24 auxiliary verbs. Is, MR, was, where, have, has, had, do, does, can, could, shall, should, will, will, might, must, need, dear, us to. Whenever you see the auxiliary verbs plus main verb, take same auxiliary be, being, been plus V3. It's very simple technique. A letter, same auxiliary, is. And here is in ing form in verb, so you have to take the being. Is being. And what is the V3 of writing? V3 is written. Full stop. This is a very simple technique of changing verbs. Now, let us go to the note number 2. Note number 2. Better to focus indirect object. Indirect object. If two objects come together, for example, Ram gave me a pen. Look at that. Who gave? Ram. What gave? A pen. This is a direct object. Me is indirect object. So, what is better to focus? Indirect object. Take indirect object at first. Me is changed into I. What is the B2? What is the rule of B2? Was, where plus V3. I takes was. I was given a pen. It is the right answer. If you want to take direct object first, then the answer will be like that. A pen was given to me. Means you have to add to. So it is better to use I was given a pen instead of a pen was given to me. So this is the right way. But here is Ram is there. Don't forget. I was given a pen by Ram. And here as well, a pen was given to me by Ram. Because I told you in the beginning, by is necessary only in case of name and surname. Don't forget that. Yes, dear students. Now, let's go to note number third. Note number third. Same auxiliary means you have to be careful in these three items. Is, am, are. They are same auxiliary, and is comes in singular, are comes in plural. Look at that. Instead of is, are. Instead of are, there can be is. Was, were. Same auxiliary. You can look at that. Sometimes was into were, has, have. Same auxiliary. For example, question is, people are destroying the forest. People are destroying the forest. The answer is, what destroying? Always understand the answer of what. What destroying? The forest. So the forest. And now the question is, auxiliary plus main verb. Look at that. Auxiliary plus main verb. What is the formula? Same auxiliary. Be, being, been plus V3. So same auxiliary means forest is singular. So it must take is, and we have to use being because of ing. And what is the V3 of destroy? Destroyed. And by people, not necessary. Now the question is, in the same way, they have stolen a statue. Now answer is, a statue. Look at that, auxiliary plus main verb, same auxiliary, but have is taken by plural, they is plural, a statue is singular, so we have to use has been stolen. This is the answer. So let's go to the next note. Note number 4. In case of nobody and negative nobody, no one, and negative sentence, use not not after verb. After verbs. For example, you can see here, nobody wrote a letter. Look at that. Now a letter, V2 is there, so we have to use was, and it's before V3 we have to use not because of nobody. Was not written. Yes, not only that. For example, they don't paint the walls. The answer is, the walls are, look at that, does means V1, V5. Remember, V1, V5. Did means, that means V2. And what is the formula V1, V5 into passive? Is MR plus V3. And did means V2. What is the formula? Was, were plus V3. So you need to understand that the walls are not painted. The walls are not painted. By them is not necessary. Or you can write sometimes, no problem. Like that. Let's go to the next note. Focus on subordinate clause. For example, I think she writes a letter. There are two clauses. You see, I think and she writes a letter. And in case of voice, focus on this one. What is the passive form of I think? It is thought. It is thought that she writes a letter. This is the way. And sometimes what happens? Note number 5, note number 6. So 5, so 6. Put adverbs. before B3. This is also one way. For example, C gave a speech politely. And what is the object? A speech. A speech was, and if there is adverb politely, before adverb, before B3 you can write that one. Politely given by her. A speech was politely given by her. That is another way. So now let's go to the next note. Note number 7. 2B1 should be changed into 2BB3. Look at that. For example, they are going to build a temple in the place. And what is the object? What build? You can understand. What build? A temple. So let us take our temple. So what we can write? 2B1, 2BB3, but before 2B1 we can use structure. Structure, one structure, 2B1, and same structure. Structure is not allowed to be changed. Same structure, 2BB3. Our temple here is going to be one is the structure. So our temple, it takes is going to same structure, listen, and B and built by them, not necessary. What is the remaining thing? In the village. This is the way. I will tell you the next question again. They have to take the exam. Look at that. Now we can understand structure 2B1. Structure 2B1 equal to same structure 2BB3, and put the exam at first, the exam, and I told you date is a plural, it takes have, and the exam is singular, so it takes has to be taken. This is the way. So now let us talk about the note number 8 in simple sentences. In case of passive to active, if subject is missing, take either somebody or people or they, whatever. For example, English is spoken all over the world. Look at that. And we have to see, this is the passive sentence and we have to into active. And we have to look at the structure of the verb. Is MR B3. Then we have to change into B1, B5. So B1, B5. How can we change B1, B5? Let us see. But by plus subject is not given. If by plus subject is not given, we have to take either somebody, people or they. But here in case of that, it is better to write people. People, what is B1? Speak. People speak. What is speak? English. Object is English. And remaining is all over the world. This is the adjunct. In the same way, this is the question and this is the answer. So in the same way, the book was not found in the class, for example. And here is the negative form of was not, B3 is also there, but no subject. And how can we take the subject? Negative, in case of negative, we have to take the subject of nobody. Nobody and was not found is B2. What is the B2? Found the book in the class. Nobody found the book in the class. You see here. So these are the different notes to be written while changing statement sentences. Okay, now let us talk about the in imperative sentences. Okay, voice in command sentence or imperative. Voice in imperative. Question. Look at that. B1 plus object equal to let plus object plus B plus B3. This is the structure. B1 plus object equal to let plus object plus B plus B3. Okay, just understand and see the time. And so what is the answer over here? Open the door. For example, open the door. This is the object, this is B1. Let the door be opened very fast. This is the question. Again, don't open the door. For example, don't open the door. And what is the answer over here? Let the door, put the not here, not be opened. In the same way, next question, please open the door. Please open the door. What is the answer over here? You are requested to open the door. Again, next note. In case of are you really rule or duty, use should be B3. Should be B3. Look at that. In case of rule or duty, for example, the question is HELP help the poor. The answer must be let the poor be helped is not the right answer. Answer must be the poor should be helped. Respect the elders. Respect the elders. The elders should be respected. Like that. Now voice in interrogative form. Interrogative sentences. Or what you call yes no question. Yes no question. This common structure of yes no question is yes. In case of do does means B1 B5 plus subject. That you must change into is MR. Is MR plus object plus B3. Third question mark. Here is also question mark. B3, don't forget. And did plus subject. Third question mark. Was when. Did means B2. Was when, yes. Was when plus object plus B3. Third question mark. And in the same way, auxiliary plus subject plus main verb. Third. Same auxiliary plus object plus B being B. Don't forget these three rules. B3, third question mark. Never forget in voice, never forget these three rules. B1, B5 into what? B2 into what? And auxiliary plus main verb into what? If you know these three rules, it will be easy for you to understand the voice and do it accordingly. So the question is, very simple question. Does she write a letter? Question mark. Answer is, in case of do does, you have to take the is MR, right? Is a letter. Answer is written. Question mark. Now, next question is, did Devkota write Munamadan? Munamadan? Question mark. Answer must be, was Munamadan written by Devkotai. Here you have to write by because it is the name of person, right? And in the same way, are they planting rice? Planting rice. And the answer must be, look at that, auxiliary plus main verb. And same auxiliary, but rice is the object, it takes singular. So is. Is rice being planted? This is the question. So this is the way how we can change active sentence into passive in case of asking a question. Now the turn for WH question. WH question is just like WH question, just like ask no question. Look at that. For example, where did Ram lost the book? Question mark. Answer is same WH, where, and if you hide WH, then it becomes the ask no question. Did Ram lost the book? Then in case of did, I told you did was when plus object plus V3. Where book takes was, where was the book lost by Ram? In the same way, why should she give a speech? For example, auxiliary plus main verb. The answer is why, same auxiliary, should, and now put the object or speech and be given before, because same auxiliary object and be being been. Here is B1, so there must be be and given and question mark. Look at that. And now third number is the question of what. Remember this one. What did they break, for example? And if the question of what comes, then object is missing. What is missing? Object. Then did takes was or V3. Everybody knows that. So the answer must be what was broken. Right? Yes, it's over. You understand it? What was broken? By them is not necessary. So what was broken? What did they break? What was broken? Very simple. Now the question of who. Who teaches you English? In case of who, I told you there must be by whom. By whom, and V5 is there. V5 is MR V3, right? So you have to take indirect object first. So you takes R. By whom are you taught English? Right? Or you can use who are you taught English by? Right? This also you can do. Or you can also do who, by whom is English taught to you. This is the way of changing active to passive. And sometimes the question of in a teacher giving sentences. For example, a teacher giving sentences. In that cases, I will tell you the just example. I love people helping me. For example, helping me. After ing, if there is me, then you have to use the being here. I love being, being, helped. Helped. This is the passive voice. This is active and this is passive. Use of being. Right? Use of being. And in case of I hate people taking my photograph. Taking my photograph. Look at that. Into passive. Same I hate, we have to use the same thing. And look at that, ing takes the object. So there must be having instead of being. Here is being, here is having. Because ing is showing to me, but ing is showing to mine. Having, then put object first. Having my photograph. And what is the V3? Taken is the V3. So these are the simple structures of changing active to passive voices. Hope you have learned well through this class. Please keep watching and keep subscribing my channel Global English Academy. Namaste. Goodbye.